Hey everyone, Wicked Jutto here. Welcome to another Build My Bases. This is still Eli, so if you want to check it out, you can search for my name, Jutto, and hopefully you'll find it and you can run through it yourself. Today we're going to learn how to build Dead Man Switch combo traps. We are building each from scratch, so you can try yourself. And yeah, let's just get straight into it. So the first one I want to do is pretty common, so I'd be surprised if you haven't seen it. But I think it's a good one. Like when executed right, you can really catch people off guard. So um, I've got like a few different ones for this episode. So depending how time goes, we might need to break it into like segments, and I might like continue it each day or something. But yeah, we'll see how we go for time. I don't want to have like 2 hours long video like on YouTube. I think it's better to just split them. So if you're wondering, you might see some segments split up. So we'll see how we go. Okay, so let's get straight into the first one. So we're just gonna start with a basic ramp. So I think I haven't like prepped this beforehand, so I'm kind of guessing on the exact height that we place the dead man on, and we'll do some testing as well. So even if we get it wrong, like so be it. I think the best way to learn in this game is to just kind of test things for yourself. Okay, so let's start with the bolt trap, because the bolt trap will dictate like how far the thing will be. So let's start with that. And this is probably not the... I didn't think about these blocks getting in the way. Maybe we can push it back a little bit so we got a bit more space to work with. So sorry about that. We're just rebuilding the steps. Okay, and let's start with this height for now, and we'll check the height of the bolt trap in a second. Alright, and okay, and the way you do it, at least on PC, is you press Y. It shows the little reticle. This looks like it can go further, so you've got some options here. You can like make it super long, and like you can even put on the extended overshot, which gives you even more range. Or you can maybe have it a little closer to the dead man, kind of sitting there. That way he triggers faster, so you get less time to react. So I'll leave it up to you, like if you want to kind of do your own variant on this. Right now I think I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but I could see this stretching to 7 or even further. So I'd recommend do your own testing, see what works for you, and then just go with that. And let us know in the comments, like if you found like an optimal solution. Like it's not something I do very often, so but it's an easy one to set up. So okay, so I'm just building on in the sides. Obviously, if this was in your base, you'd probably want like an exit. So you just want like a valid Harvey path. So Harvey should be able to walk through that, and then you could go down, or you could use like a little corner block, and that kind of lets him run straight. I won't build it out, but you get the idea. You can get to a flat path for Harvey from this angle. Just as a FYI. Okay, so we're just filling in the walls here. This is kind of important. You probably... I'm trying to think. Yeah, you definitely want these walled up. That's probably non-negotiable. So both sides. Just make sure you don't leave any potential gaps in your base. Okay. Alright, so far so good. And we'll just kind of paint that. Okay, so if this is kind of the entry to your base, I would, let's think, what's more effective? I think what's more effective is something like this. Anytime you do like traps, just kind of play through your mind or your head. What do raiders see? So if we were going in flat, I could just easily retreat back, right? If I'm going in on an angle, so like down like this, into, you know, that's better. I think what would work even better if I've got the space to do this, is something like this. Just trying to think how I can, because you don't want it there because they can go off to the side. Something like this maybe. And again, you probably want to experiment with this yourself, see what works for you, but let's try this. I know I'm messing up my own little path here. I can clean this up after, if I remember to do it. We'll try to remember. If you can't tell, I've got a shocking memory, so I don't trust myself to do anything correctly. Alright, so that's fine. So we're just kind of making little adjustments. I won't path that, but obviously if you're doing this yourself, just make sure you're blocking things off properly. Okay. So far we haven't done anything, we're just kind of building the infrastructure, but this is really important to get right. Otherwise, you just set yourself up for failure. Or, I mean, again, you can play this game however you like, don't let me tell you how to play it. Okay, so basically what I want to do is I want raiders to kind of go down. And I don't want them to retreat to the sides, so they're kind of stuck. Yeah. Again, I don't think this is perfect, and you're free to kind of experiment with this yourself. So just take the basic concepts and just kind of play with it, see what works for you. We don't necessarily want them to die to this, but we do want them to die to the dead man. So yeah, vision's really key here. I reckon we need to do something like that to really... I know they can duck out a bit easier, but you know what could work is maybe a corrosive, but we don't have the space. Let's try the corrosive. The benefit with corrosive is traps get vision. So it'd be something like this, and then this, and we'll make sure it's opaque. And then yeah, so see this? The trap will kind of activate here, so you don't even see it activate, right? By the time they kind of sit here, that trap will already start activating. So it'll just give the raiders less time to react to what the hell is going on. And again, I guess this doesn't matter, because either going that way, well, it switches up, right? Like, it throws the raider off, is they might think I can retreat from this by continually backing up. And maybe we do this, so they can't do that. If they keep retreating, they'll still be in the danger zone. Okay, I know I'm kind of ripping through this really quickly, but we just got so much to do in such little time. So just bear with us. We will get through as much as we can. Okay, so same thing. I'm just kind of doing it one step lower. And we don't want to like indicate to the raider immediately what's going on, so that's why this is here. So by the time they get to here, they might see something's up, and then from here, like it's kind of game over. One option we could do is we could do flurry or relentless, and then the problem with splatter is it goes the opposite direction to the arrow that goes into it, so we will splat this way. Let's keep things simple, but I'm curious, if you do end up building this yourself, leave a comment and just let me know if splatter works on this or not. I'd love to hear it. Okay, so we'll just seal that off, and then we'll leave this open. Oh, we can actually do that. Okay, great. Okay, cool. So we got the starting of a base. So far, so good. Let's do that. Okay. Alright, so raider comes in, they go across, they come down, this activates, they try to back up, but they're stopped here. I'm trying to think if there's any way to make this more pressure. We could have a corrosive cube. Corrosive cubes are great at like just giving extra pressure where you need it. And they don't really do much, right? Like this is 20 capacity, just sits there. It's no immediate threat, but you back into it, that's another death, right? So I come back, I'm trying to get out of the dead man, and I'm dead. So don't think immediately about this trying to kill the player. It's everything else around the dead man switch that is like gonna net you kills. So keep that in mind when you're building this, especially with like higher level players. Junior, or rather new players to the game, will probably fall to this 100% of the time. But for experienced and intermediate players, this might catch them off guard. Is like, I normally just back. When I see threats, I'll just automatically press the S key and get out of the way. Alright, so far so good. So let's actually put this dead man into action. So I like to use Enforcer. You can use any 3 of these, just make sure you've got the mod unlocked. And we could do a Ravager. Ravagers are great. They even come with added pressure, so let's do that. And let's just do Deadman. I'm just trying to think, like, would there be any other mods? Probably not. This, I'm just thinking now, let's make this double, because it might catch players off guard. Hunter here is next to useless, just because we're shooting down a corridor, and obviously range doesn't work. You could do Relentless, but again, it might miss this guy, and it kind of defeats the purpose, right? Okay, so coming down here, you might see that. But that's okay. We want him to die ultimately, so whether the bolt trap behind it gets him or we get him, that's fine, right? Okay, let's give this a quick test. We might need to play with the height where he starts, but that might be bang on. Give it a try. Okay, and make sure, like, when you're building, make sure you do your own testing, because, okay, so he engages. Okay, I push back. Okay, and then, great. Let me just do one more test. We might need to push him up a little bit higher, but let's say we would, okay, I push back. Okay, so that works, but it's just trying to think like how could I make that better? Because if I was here, then I push out. Just trying to think, like, how could we make this even more deadly? Because I think this needs to be here or closer. But then that just means sides, right? Because this to me is like, this is too far of a distance to accidentally walk into that. Because you could see I backed up there. I backed back there, but I was like well out of the range of this exploding, and I was safe, right? We want them to back right into this, just to get out of danger's way. So let's make some adjustments here. Sorry about that. So let's get rid of this. Let's do this. This needs to open, otherwise it's not a valid Harvey path. Okay, so we come to here, we go in, okay, and then again, you can kind of see like my kind of build processes. I don't have like everything mapped out, but I have enough of it mapped out that I can kind of make it work. Okay, so sorry, I have to kind of do that. Yeah, because this is the best way to learn, is to just do your own testing, see what works, see what doesn't work more importantly, and then make the changes necessary to make it work. Okay. What we could try is this is a quarter step, I think. Because then they could like just go straight into this. Yeah, let's make these both corrosive. It's a bit of a investment here, but I reckon it's worth it. Because alternatively, you could drop. That's like another way to do it. Is like you have something like this, but that's not a valid Harvey path, unfortunately. We'll try it this way and we'll just test it, see what works. Okay. Alright, so we got that there. Could even make this a, like if we're trying to be devious, you could make this a hollow cube that drops into, ooh, look at this. Now we're cooking with gas. Because you wouldn't well, you kind of want that open. Something like that. But the problem is that's going to reveal as soon as you hit this block, so that's kind of out. What? Okay. So, if that's the case, let's do this. I mean, they might think, why is this here? So I'll try to explain my thought process at the moment. Basically, corrosive cubes are a dead giveaway. So if this was like a cube here, you'd think, okay, that's dangerous, so I'm not going to walk backwards, right? But if this was hollow, and it's not immediately obvious, like as I'm pathing here, I think this isn't a threat. So I'll go here, back, into this, and then, you know, spikes, corrosive, whatever you want to do. You can do lots of devious stuff after that. So let's put a spike trap here. Hell, we can put self-destruct, sure. Sorry. Okay, and then let's put a corrosive, I think, is just to give me... and then we'll kind of surround that. Like, we could... I think this is good. We don't want to sink too much capacity into something like this, but, you know, we want something that gets kills. Is there anything else I would do? A grabber trap's too slow. I'm trying to think like how I can make this more deadly. You know, you could do something. I know I'm kind of getting over like the initial... This was supposed to be a simple build my bases, but now I'm kind of in that devious mood. As you do, right? Let's just get wild with bombs. Let's kind of do that. Again, someone might come in here and shoot that. How do I feel about that? This is well covered. Trying to think like how I can... I don't know, something like that maybe. I don't know. So what I'm trying to do is just make it so it doesn't... The problem is that's going to block, and we don't want that. So it'd have to be... That's probably the best I can do. I'm trying to just block as much radar vision as possible, so that this has more success. I'm trying to think... Can I rotate that? Would that be a problem? Yes, it will. Maybe. Yeah, I think that's the best we can do. And we can't put anything here because there's a hollow. You're just going to have to accept that it's not going to cover all bombs, but it's going to be annoying if you back up into here. You might dodge the spikes, dodge this, but then get blown up by this, right? We'll see. We'll do some testing. Okay, so far so good. So this has kind of been a bit more of an advanced traps combo. Just that if this doesn't blow up and kill you, and you dodge the darts, the chances are you back up into spikes, the corrosive, or this. So you've got like, what is it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things going off at relatively about the same time. So let's give this a test. I'm probably not going to extend it any more than this. But hey, you can take this and make it your own. Like, switch up this back plate here. Okay, so I don't even see. Okay, I get out of the way, and oh shit, like I died to corrosive. I didn't die to the bombs? Okay, I get it. Let's do one little tiny change, and that's to give this eagle eye. And we probably want picture perfect on this and on this. It's probably not going to do a ton, but you never know. There's bedrock here, so that's good. That kind of blends in. And if you've got like bedrock around this setup, it will like put the raider at ease more and not check, you know, this cube or this cube. So the more you can disguise it with regular bedrock, the better. Okay, let's do one more test. Okay. Yeah, I can already see we're hitting the 20-minute mark. Okay, so he goes, and then oh shit, like there's so much going on here. So I think this could really, and it explodes too. So lots to kind of catch you off guard here. You could yeah, I won't add anything more to this. So let's kind of leave it there. So I'll probably split the video now. So yeah, we'll see you in the next one.